Hello, microphone, my old friend. And of course, to everyone who can hear my voice that emits the waves that are caught by this microphone capture device thingy that changes those vibrations into radio waves, and all the steps in between. Welcome. How are you doing? Me? Oh, I'm doing swell, he says sarcastically. I don't know, man. I'm just overwhelmed, I guess. Don't worry, no one has died this time. At least, not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen RQ and Lancelot this morning, so knowing my fate, it'll twist in some dramatic way that one of them had to kill the other. Too soon for dark jokes? Between the survivor's guilt that I already had, which is now compounded, and this new level of guilt because it was all just a trial, or my survival is just because this trial. However you want to interpret it. It feels very unfair for me to be alive when there are so many other great orators. Orators? Orators. Honestly, ever since RQ has ridiculed my pronunciation for some words, I doubt every word that comes out of my mouth. There are people who have something to say. People who can say it with eloquence and grace. Eloquence, word of the day, by the way. What a win. Look, see? I need a stupid flip calendar to help me speak with any sense of authority or confidence, even. And I repeat stuff. This has equally made the world feel so much smaller and grandiose at the same time. I get to make a change that will change the world. This world, that is a single huge rock, that truly is a speck in the solar system. If we stop existing, if we fail to fix all of this, the world continues to spin around the sun that draws in 10 other planets. 11, if you count Pluto still. All of that will float in a galaxy which is one of billions, and probably they're all almost exactly the same, but all have their own unique feature from each other. But on this rock, here we all are. Alone, and with only a handful of human survivors. And we need all the help we can get, and the changes we make today will forever change how we continue. Continue living, continue to thrive, or just exist as a whole. As a whole on this floating rock in space that we have made our home, and, God willing, our hub as we venture into the stars. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that way. I remember when I learned about the size of everything. I was probably like 6 or 7. When was it that you learn about space? Whenever it was the point in time when you kind of start learning about the things outside of yourself. That point when you start realizing that you are one of many. Maybe you haven't built up that empathy yet at this point, but you know a sense of self versus another, and how that kind of starts to grow. Not an antagonistic versus, but there's just a difference between you and your neighbor. And I had this teacher, Mrs. Farrington, and she said that the world is rotating over 1,000 miles per hour, which she then eloquently again, a better speaker than I am, broke it down into simpler terms. If the world is rotating at 1,000 miles per hour, then a plane goes about half that speed at 500 miles per hour. Okay, that's still really fast. Flying from Utah to New York in only a couple of hours. And then cars. How we can safely drive a car at 100 miles per hour, but on average we drive at about 60 miles per hour. She continued like that until she got to humans. How we have an average running speed of 6 to 7 miles per hour. It's probably changed by now that I think about it. Because I've seen Xander run, and that boy is slow. But when you watch the number shrink from 1,000 to 6, it made me realize how little control I have. How out of control the world even is. I went out during class break, and I remember laying in the field, watching the world spin. And I swear I could hear that whoosh. Just the air and sky falling around the sun. Because that's all it is we're just continually falling. Gotta say, nothing makes you feel smaller than thinking about space. And again, maybe it's just me. Would you want to know you could change the world? I feel so forgetful. Because I feel like I've asked that one already. Did I? Well, if I have, you still haven't told me. So, I'm gonna ask it again and again until I get an answer. I remember I had a friend who once asked me, would you rather be told ugly truths or pretty lies? And they weren't asking it in a way to like, are you ready for some true facts about yourself? Just one of those like deep icebreaker questions. And it's stuck with me ever since then. Honestly, I think about it like once a week. And at the time that I was asked, I never wanted any form of conflict. I would rather be told a pretty lie, as if the truth would lead to conflict. And that's naive of me to think, right? I'm here with you so knee-deep in the truth that it has literally changed how we view the world. And here I am with a chance to change the world in an even greater way than that. Honestly, let me rest. I think I've done enough, right? But at the time, I really thought those lies would be a kindness. And then, of course, like everyone does, I grew up and matured, and those opinions have changed. I don't believe anymore. I know I deserve the truth. I am a participating human in this thing that we unfortunately call society, and so we must be open and honest. And sometimes that honesty will hurt people. Obviously, we don't aim to hurt anyone. We're not out here just saying the truthful thing and being like, well, I didn't mean it to be hurt, I'm just telling the truth. Kind of sounds like a high school popular girl kind of joke in there. I didn't mean to be mean. No, rather, it's the honesty that can be hurtful. This truth that I have, a choice between a world of shadows or following steel, feels like a truth that is still masked in lies, in deceit, obfuscation. Yesterday's word of the day. Kind of feels like when you're being told, you'll get it when you're older. Well, of course, I'm not old enough, but why lie to me about my ability to understand the joke? You're the one making a rude joke in public around children, Ryan. If that sounded pointed, it's because it is. Ryan was one of those guys my mother would parade around with for a little while. In hindsight, he's an alright guy. He didn't stay around for too long, which we were all grateful. But I just never really understood why make a joke when no one will get it. So here I am, older and wiser, and I understand your innuendo, Ryan, and I have this firm belief to go with it that we deserve the truth. I don't want to be lied to. But at the same time, not being told something should be a mercy. Fate doesn't ask you if you want to be a part of it. You're just on the journey. Being told of a responsibility on that path, it just makes the dread and anxiety more real as I walk along this path. And I hate it. I don't know. It feels like a lot. Feels too massive. Sometimes I regret starting this radio. Have I been giving you too much truths? Sharing the truth of the world around you? Am I helping you? Am I hindering you? I don't know. I like to think that these weekly updates are exactly what you need. Something to keep you going. Something to remind you that you are valid, you are seen, and I know who you are. Even though I've never met you. And sometimes I think if I can show you that I'm suffering in such a way, it will inspire you to go, well, at least my life isn't that bad. And then I think about how selfish that thought really is. How me dictating my life makes me seem like some egotist that loves to hear the sound of his own voice. Don't get me wrong, I do love the sound of my own voice. But I'm thinking I might stop. I think I might turn it all off. But my voice seems to be helpful. I don't know. I think it would be good to change what this is. What it means. Change is good. Change is scary. Ugh, don't get me wrong. And we've been through enough change that is the main reason I want to hold off on making any big changes. We've been through the ultimate change. And in some ways it feels like we'll never go back to the world that we wanted to be in. And I hate that. I hate that it can't be fixed so easily. But, and if I say but, it should disregard everything that I've said before the word but. I truly am hopeful. I don't know if we'll ever do it. We'll bring the world back. We'll put everything right. We'll fix this world and live to the glory that we all saw it was. Or make it better even. I don't know. I don't know if I'll live that long. Heaven forbid I get appendicitis. I haven't seen a doctor in quite some time, so who knows what's going on with my teeth alone. But I have to have hope. I cannot do it by myself. And if I cannot do it by myself, and my friends cannot do it with my support, maybe you can do it tomorrow. For the tomorrow I do not get to be in. Maybe I start a habit for you of believing that we can make something from this nothing. It's going to take a lot of work. It'll take time. And in that time, I will probably complain and whine and moan about every step of the way, and I cannot wait for you to come here and tell me it's all nonsense. So I can tell you to your face that I'm still hopeful for tomorrow. Rambling. You want this as your voice of reason? Get out of here. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. That's it for me today, you guys.
Oh, good, you're still here.
It's super weird to watch you two walk in together like that. Did I do something wrong? I was legitimately just about to wrap up.
Lancelot asked me to join him, that he had something to share. Of course, I protested, but what can I say? I'm weak, and I let him badger me into it.
And by badger, you mean he asked you once, and you immediately folded?
That doesn't sound like me at all.
Oh, I want to tell jokes too, trust me, but I need to tell you something. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you, and that has been a struggle.
Well, naturally. Thinking is a new skill for you, Xander. I'll take a while to get used to it. For you, probably twice as long.
See, now that sounds more like you.
Come on, guys, please.
Sorry, dude. My bad. Please, continue.
I told you both that I'm in contact with HQ again. They are still trying to operate and run things like they normally would back in the homeland, with the focus on this event. A lot of science had to be relearned because, we lost a lot of our scientific minds. So we have a slower than usual research process. We learned pretty quickly that the event wasn't anything viral or biological. That's when we picked up your voice, Gabe. When you said Schuster for the first time, my jaw dropped. I didn't want to try and draw the connections of a case I was on to the event. It seemed like they were just coincidences. Then you just had to draw those connections together. Made me look like an amateur. RQ then shows up and throws everyone else in a tizzy.
I have that effect on people.
Ignoring that, it made the magical side of things harder to ignore. You and RQ just continuing to talk about the strangeness of everything. RQ trying to push the boundaries of the magical spell that kept you unenlightened. So Danny and I set off to see if there was any other magical component. Because the longer we listened, the more obvious it became. Fate was denied. Destiny was broken. And that was confirmed shortly after we got here. The Holy Grail was used to cure the world, and Destiny did not agree with that, causing the entire mess. Talking to my contact back home, back at HQ, she's been telling me about how the research continues, and they have discovered some really cool things, and some not so cool things.
So you have good news and bad news?
It's usually how these go.
Well, it feels like both are bad and good in different ways. And I didn't want things to get any harder than they already were. A lot has been going on with, everyone. We just got back into our own groove after everything.
He says like he's been here the whole time.
Look who's talking.
Never mind me. Sir Knight is dancing around just telling us the news, let alone much of anything.
Yeah, I just thought I could say it in some pretty metaphor or provide some clarity, but I just don't know how to make this thing any easier.
Okay. Let's start small. Maybe break it down piece by piece. And if we need you to stop, I can ask questions, we can backtrack, whatever you need. Or maybe we just get it all out in the open.
Okay. There are two big things to talk about, and the consequences of that. First big thing. We have discovered a cure to the others. Not a cure so much. More like a remedy. Like a cold. But you don't cure a cold, you just endure in some medicines that help over time. Well, I guess it does kind of fix the problem, because it doesn't seem to be genetic, so maybe a cure is right.
Oh my god. King and country. Really? That's amazing. What is the cure? Will it work on the violent ones? How can you not tell me this news right away? What is it that we need to do right now? If it's giving blood, I'm willing. It's a little bit tricky. I gotta think about needles, but I can't
Easy, Gabe. Let the man drop the other shoe.
Hate to say it, but she's right, Gabe. I don't want to say, because I know you'll love / hate it. The cure is hope.
The hope and the love we gained along the way, or...
I'm a little confused on how the grand concept of this thing can be a cure.
It's not just hope, but a true understanding of hope. Feeling that hope and believing in true hope. It's what's protected the other survivors. If they weren't part of your trial with the questing beast, their hope in tomorrow was what shielded them. And true hope like that, well, you can see how rare that is.
So, magical hope kept the survivors safe. How is that a bad thing?
Before I left HQ, we would listen to you, all of us. We would play your voice every day. All the recordings we had leading up to whatever thing you were going to say. We had this comfort feeling, knowing that we weren't the only ones and that the world has continued on. Something to fight for, even. It gave us hope. The Merlin noticed the moral shift, and he noticed that everyone were kind of covered in magic. Don't ask me specifics. I was the guy with the sword, not some magic site nonsense. It was dusted on everyone, just small traces of it. And the people who had listened to your words were blanketed in it. You showed that you were a beacon of hope, and the Merlin thought about what that hope could do to the others. If that blanket would do something good for the others. Recent reports say that after listening to your broadcasts, every standard other has become more aware of their surroundings, increased understanding of patterns and individual thought.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Again, how is this the bad news? It sounds like I've actually been helpful. Like I've done something. Like you said I was supposed to be doing. How Merlin said I was this thing. Kinda seems like why you were out here at all in the first place, Xander.
And you can be even more helpful. If we have you back at the homeland, back in London, we can get you directly plugged into the emergency broadcasting system and get your hope out to the world.
And there's the other shoe.
Okay, still confused here. Why do we need to go to London? Let's just record a bunch of stuff, and then plug it into your broadcast system or whatever, and we just do the same thing. The whole world gets to heal regardless.
It doesn't work like that.
I hate to say it, but he's right. Well, to a degree. The world would heal, but magic isn't something you can just copy-paste. It has to be in person. The more layers between the caster, you, and the target, the world, a recording from you to London, then to the world, makes the magic weaker. Which means if they get you over there, then it's one less barrier.
Essentially, if we get you to our radio facilities, the cure returns to normal a lot faster.
Okay, so we all have to leave for London, and...
Well, not all of us.
Am I not invited?
That's the other bit of news.
You need to stop looking at me like that.
Yeah, dude, you look like our Q kicked your dog or something.
I would never. I'd rather kick a person. Doc didn't do anything wrong, just bad owners.
See?
RQ can come because you shouldn't exist.
Slow that one down?
Yes, I agree. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's not, I mean, it's not like you shouldn't exist. It's more like, king and country, I don't have the vocabulary for this.
Try. I'm dying to know.
I'm not you. The world would heal a lot faster without you. That came out wrong.
How does our Q hurt the healing of the others, Xander?
I'm starting to think you just don't like me, Lancelot.
That's the least of it, really.
I don't know how to explain it. Cessily couldn't even do that. She's so well read. If we are going to return the world to the way it was, we have to find a new balancing point. When the Grail was destroyed, destiny was denied. We tipped the scales too far into the strange, and now one end has slammed into the ground. The counterbalance was lost. Destiny is equal give and take. We make a mistake, destiny can help move things around to keep the balance. It's always a feather's difference of destroying that balance. Not only was destiny defied, the item that caused the defiance was removed from the scale. If we want balance again, all the things that have defied destiny have to be removed as well.
So what are you saying? In the newly initiated into this world, what are you saying?
He's saying that my being here, on this world, the world could never really heal. I broke the rules. I was never supposed to drink of the Grail. I then continue to defy destiny by making a pact. The punishment to which is knowing that I am a cancer to the world. And like any organism, removal of that cancer will heal the organism.
No, I would never say...
No. It's what it means. You don't need to hide the fact. I wanted the world to be a better place for everyone. And in my search to do that, I became another obstacle for everyone to have to overcome. Truly, the irony is palpable. I need to be anywhere else than here, right now.
Yeah, of course. Whatever you need. Just...
Yeah, I know. Not the best of situations.
What are we supposed to do?
I wish I knew. Everyone deserves to live a full life. There are always people who want to end that right by whatever means necessary. I've never, in all my years, seen someone who has been a true limitation to the world just based on their existence.
Maybe I should just shut all this off and we can talk more about this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to wrap your head around, right, Survivor? RQ isn't a cancer. Okay? She isn't an obstacle. She doesn't have to make... We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. Because if we turn our back on one person, what is going to stop us from doing it to you, to me, to Xander? RQ, RQ, you and I don't know. I felt low, but still semi-hopeful, and now I'm confused. Again. There's something your people missed, Xander. I'm sure of it. I know so little, but sometimes the rookie has the boldest ideas. We'll figure it out. We'll read every book. We'll research everything that we can.
I appreciate your hope.
Dear Survivor, dear humans with hope, know that we love you. I'm gonna go check on my friend. And when we come back, we're gonna have updates, we're gonna have news, we're gonna have answers. Because if I allow my friend to be left alone, what example does that leave for you? I've told you time and time again, and if I don't follow through with that promise, you'll never trust me. You'll never know the intensity to which I feel these words. I've meant it since day one, and I mean it now. You are not alone. And you don't have to be.